at the Infosys headquarters, where this iconic Indian IT company is celebrating its 4th decade. And I have a very quick opportunity to show you in pictures how the magic all began. So this is actually the certificate of incorporation of Infosys, which you're seeing over here, a little piece of history for a company whose journey has, in a sense, mirrored India's own growth story. This is their first order from Data Basics Corp in 1982. Look at the date. July 5th, 1982 is when this order took place. And of course, we know the genesis of the story. It's 7 engineers led by Mr. Narayana Murthy who came together to establish Infosys. Some of those pictures over here harking back to the days, and these faces have now all become iconic. This is also a good insight into the humble origins of the company. So they have a picture up here in their gallery on the campus of an apartment where the idea of Infosys was born. I found this quite interesting. And of course, the grandeur of this campus has been well documented. But I just want to show you a few other pictures that I thought were nice. One was the actual certificate that they got, the first time that the company got a sanction to use this land and build the campus over here. The first site of the Infosys campus, harking back, this is the first Infosys office in Jayanagar in Bengaluru, and the Infosys offices in Koramangala, Bengaluru. This is the heritage building, the first one on the Bengaluru campus. Why it is such an exciting story? Of course, Infosys's successes are well known, well celebrated. The company is very, very closely tracked, but it also is an inspirational story about how an idea well executed with due diligence and constant innovation can lead to great things.
The OG of the Indian startup arena. From a small-time firm to a global tech giant. Infosys has come a long way since it was founded back in the year 1981. The IT behemoth started off on a humble note. Narayana Murthy gathered a team of 6 engineers and raised all of $250 in capital. More than 40 years later, the firm has grown to $71 billion in market value. One key person who has been instrumental in Infosys' journey is Sudha Murthy, the wife of Narayana Murthy. She gave up her career to help her husband turn his Infosys dream into a reality.
I think at the end of the day, most of our energy comes from mental energy. As long as you are in a state of mind that is full of enthusiasm, hope, confidence and joy, then physical energy will.
The journey of Infosys broadly mirrors India's economic history from the 1980s. When the nation's businesses endured the government-control-driven license permitrage. The presence of India's IT industry on the global stage then was negligible. India began opening up the economy in 1991, and Infosys saw tremendous growth as India progressed. One of the notable achievements was a domestic initial public offering that needed an underwriter bailout and introduction of ESOPs in 1993. By the end of the 1990s, the firm's revenues had touched $100 million and the stock was listed on the Nasdaq. Today, adjusted to shareholder rewards, including bonuses, the Infosys share price has delivered an over 1 million % return since the debut equity listing in 1993, and this according to data compiled by Bloomberg. The first key management change at Infosys occurred in 2002, when Nandan Nilekani, one of the 7 original founders, succeeded Narayana Murthy as the CEO of the firm. Infosys completed 25 years as a company in 2006, when another key set of milestones were achieved. Annual revenues doubled in a duration of 23 months to touch $2 billion. It had taken the company 23 years to reach the $1 billion of yearly revenue in 2004. Infosys had an employee strength of 50,000 people in 2006. And significantly, Narayana Murthy retired from executive functions at the company the same year. It will take Infosys just 1 more year to earn an average of $1 billion of revenues a quarter. In 2008, the company's annual profit crossed $1 billion level. The following year, The employee count crossed 100,000 and yearly revenues touched $5 billion. In 2012, Infosys was listed on the New York Stock Exchange. In 2014, the firm's free cash pile was at about $5 billion. Salil Parekh took charge as the CEO in 2017. In 2021, the firm's revenue crossed $12.5 billion. The future remains bright for Infosys. Infosys has been a key beneficiary of the workplace model, moving to hybrid even in the post-pandemic era. Parekh sums this up, saying the firm is well positioned to be the provider of choice, as large corporations and governments seek digital transformation to stay more connected to stakeholders.
I have been talking about and covering Infosys for so many years, but this is my first time at the campus. And I must say it's an amazing experience to be here and actually see in person what it's all about. So congratulations and thank you for this opportunity. Nandan spoke earlier about new startup founders. I'm interested in knowing what Mr. Murthy thinks about the new crop of startup founders and the kind of perils they're facing. For you, Mr. Nilekani, I want to ask you what the ingredients are when you are finalizing your plan B. When you're talking about the perfect chairman, CEO combination, what are the ingredients you're looking for? And I'm saying this all together because Rishi's, given me this deadline. But Mr. Parekh, for you, my question is that we are going to face possibly a very tough year ahead economically, fears of recession in Europe, across the United States. What does that do for your projections and challenges that you will face for the company?
Well, my answer would be very similar to what Nandan said on the startup issue. And that is, will I be able to earn the respect of all my stakeholders 20 years from now, 40 years from now? The moment I ask that question, respect, then everything falls into place. Your austerity, your focus on excellence, getting repeat customers, attracting good employees, attracting long-term investors, getting the approbation of the society, the bureaucracy, etc., etc. So I would say that my fervent request to all these wonderful entrepreneurs who are so smart, as Nandan said, is to take a few minutes of their busy schedule and think about the issue that I have raised. That is, how do we earn the respect of every stakeholder? That's what I would say. That's about it for me.
No, I think one of Murthy's mantras was, happiness is a positive cash flow. So we have all absorbed that. We are all into positive cash flow. The only question I asked Jayesh and Nilanjan is, how much is the incremental cash to the balance sheet last month? So I learned that from him. So it's maybe old-fashioned and all that, but that's what we think. So I think the moment you're not having positive cash flow and you're burning cash, while there are arguments that when you burn cash, you can grow fast, burning cash is, you lose discipline. Because then whether you burn 1 million or 10 million, who knows, right? And then you also spend a lot of things which need not be spent on, customer acquisition, this, that, all that. So I think happiness is a positive cash flow is our mantra. Learn from him. Plan B, yeah. No, I don't know, maybe I should not have opened my mouth about this plan B. Now you're going to keep going after me on some plan B. Now, what is your question? Whether I have a plan B or?
My question specifically is, what are the ingredients you're looking for in the CEO chairman combination?
Well, I think, obviously, I think I can't think of a better CEO than Salil, but a CEO's job is running, executing, managing, motivating people, and being very customer focused. One of the things I like about Salil is he will drop everything and catch a flight to Greenland if necessary, if he has to close a deal. I have not seen that. I can't do it because I get jet lag if I go to Greenland, so I can't do all that. But he can do it. And so he's always there. He's always in front of I'll give you a story. I won't name the customer. The CEO of this customer, a potential customer, we don't have that customer yet, wanted to do a Zoom call or video call with the CEOs of the two competing firms, so Infosys and one other firm. This happened very recently. And it so happened that Salil was traveling in US and that other CEO is based in the US. So this CEO of our potential client asked for it at a time which was 2 a.m. in New York. The other CEO refused to do the call, saying, I can't do a call. This is what we think. Because we don't know what he told us, but we think that other CEO said 2 a.m. I'm not going to do a call. Salil did the call at 2 a.m. New York time. And he was completely unfazed. And for all you know, that is the reason why they will get the business. So that is that shows what a CEO, the customer focus that is required. So I think, obviously, someone like Salil, and on the chair side, I think, I won't say someone like me, but I'll say that you need to have a strong board too, because, when you need a board which will think of the long term, look at governance, look at the values that the Murthy and others have, and adopt it as their own. So they have to behave like founders, even though they may not be founders. So I think that's what I think about this. No, I'm extremely positive and bullish about Infosys' future, because digital transformation is become central to the world. Every governments, businesses, everybody needs this. And Infosys is going to be at the center of that transformation. So I think, it's up to this company and its current and future leaders to make it happen. And, as I said, impact with purpose. So that's where I think it will just keep growing on that front. Digital transformation is here to stay. COVID essentially made every board in the world realize that not being digital is an existential crisis. Many companies have to not only transform themselves, they transform themselves in a cost and time efficient manner, because they are also doing this transformation in the midst of economic difficulties. So I think the company which is able to both get business transformation articulated and executed at the same time is going to win this game. And I think there's no better company than Infosys in the world today with that. There are companies that are good at articulation, PowerPoint, they don't know how to execute. And the companies that are good at execution and running software factories but don't have the business knowledge. Infosys is in the sweet spot of both having business and domain knowledge and understanding where it's going and executing very well. So absolutely sweet spot, and it's up to us to lose it.
Right from 1993, when we got listed in India, we operated this organization or this corporation as an enlightened corporate democracy. What did it mean? The most important thing was respecting the hierarchy of ideas rather than the hierarchy of corner offices. How did it translate to reality? Every strategic decision was taken with a few experts in that area and the remaining internal members of the board and a few very bright youngsters who we realized would add tremendous value. So the way I manage, and I'm sure they probably have improved it now, I don't think I made a decision. What I did was, I would listen to Fanish in sales, I would listen to Mohan in finance, I would listen to Nandan in strategy, I would listen to Chris in technology, I would listen to Shibu in delivery, I would listen to Dinesh in quality. It was their ideas. It's not so much my idea. I operated as a facilitator of agreeable debate amongst all of us, and that the best idea won. That is the way we operated. So there is no issue of I saying one thing and then that going bad, or somebody saying something and then me say it didn't go bad. No, I don't think those are the issues, because in an enlightened democracy, every worthwhile voice, every corporate democracy, because in a democracy it may not work like that. In an enlightened corporate democracy, it is the judgment, it's the wisdom, it is the expertise that has to carry the day. To the best of my ability, I have followed it. Now, let me say you that I was completely wrong in that. I think I was depriving this organization of legitimate talent. So I take back that whatever I said. I think that every individual must have the same opportunity as every other individual if he or she is considered the best person for that job. So I don't believe in whatever I thought I would. The reason why at that point of time, probably I embraced that idea was because I was afraid that some people may bring undeserving candidates and put them in positions. And I wanted the future of the organization to be strong. So therefore, I was completely wrong. I take back that. I admit I was wrong. So today, my view is that you should not worry about what nationality, what heritage, whose son you are, whose daughter you are, as long as you have the best competence for a position. But you have to go through the proper process of maturing in the organization before being given before being given suitable position or suitable responsibility.
On the offerings, more and more of the work that we do, we've been talking about digital, but even within digital gets more specialized. There's a couple of areas today, for example, where we build very early offerings. We've got an offering in Meta, which is just starting to build up with some very good use cases. Working is not a huge revenue stream, but we can see the potential of that. We've also built some use cases around quantum, which are working in the market. Again, very small, but still quite critical to see what it can drive to. The way we've organized our delivery capabilities and our technology capabilities is there's always focus on what's coming in the future and making sure that we are focused to build capability, build depth in it, and experiment on that with clients where we can put that to work and see how it plays out. And of course, then there is more established areas which are new in the overall market, but still very established for us. You look at an area like cybersecurity, where we have real depth today in what's going on. You look at areas where in data and analytics, we have real depth. In artificial intelligence, we built both a capability which allows us to drive automation, but also a capability which allows us to work with clients on different solutions that they can adopt from a vast array of AI capabilities in the market and our own AI work that we've done. The culture of Infosys really is focused on what we do with our clients and what we do for them very well. And it's almost dedication, obsession. All the stories you heard where for example, Shibu staying for 2 or 3 days work, these are just, that's the same obsession that employees have with working for clients. What we see as newer employees are joining us from college today is there is tremendous interest in working on new technologies, doing new learning, There's not only interest in having a career which lasts a number of years with a company. There's much more on learning and developing what they're doing. And that's what we are focused on. Nandan mentioned earlier the reskilling program that we put in place. My view is it's the best that there is in the industry. Any person within Infosys has the opportunity to learn a new skill which is more relevant today to clients. Mr. Murthy built Mysore, which is the best in-person learning that is anywhere in the world. Nandan has built something called Lex, which is for us today the online learning experience that all of us have. The coursework that's available there, we see usage by employees on their own free time, so on weekends, on other times. That shows us that it's not like a push system where employees are doing that. It's much more pull, where they want to make sure that they're learning new things. So the aspirations of this crop of employees is what we want to make sure we address. And that is what is addressed by both our growth and the work that we're doing, which is much more industry leading in terms of new work on digital and cloud.
I think both Nandan and we have spoken about this. First is to have high aspirations, benchmark yourself with the best global company in that area. Second is bring competence and values to every position and every decision that you take. Third, remember that market access and talent access are the two most important attributes or important ingredients for the success of a corporation. Fourth, remember that sales and finance are form the lifeblood of any corporation. Like that, I can go on and on. I will speak in the evening anyway, but these are some of the things here.